right. Ooh. So, let's talk Uganda and the state of LGBTQ rights there. I have an article from Reuters that I don't even know if it's a mixed bag, but there might be a glimmer of hope for the LGBTQ plus community inside Uganda. Because the article is titled, Ugandan court upholds anti-LGBTQ law but says some rights infringed. So let's see what rights those are. And take heart. They think that LGBT plus people do have some rights. So that is an upshot. How much of one? We're about to find out. Okay, Uganda's Constitutional Court on Wednesday refused to annul or suspend an anti-LGBTQ law that includes the death penalty for certain same-sex acts, but voided some provisions it said are inconsistent with certain fundamental human rights. Now, I've done a video already about just the absolutely bonkers law, which, I mean, a death penalty for two consenting adults having sex. Because, now, granted, we have statutory rape laws, so, because this does go into if a minor is involved. And, yes, I agree, statutory rape is fine, but death penalty for that? But anyway, I have a whole video going over just how bonkers this law is. Anyway, the legislation adopted in May last year is among the world's harshest anti-gay laws and has drawn condemnation from rights campaigners and sanctions from Western nations. Because Uganda totally can deal with sanctions, because Uganda is just so rich. Activists say the law has unleashed a torrent of abuse against LGBTQ people, including torture, rape, arrest, and eviction. Because somehow that's not a crime. I hope that these people are being prosecuted, because even though there is a death penalty for a ridiculous crime, I don't care if the death penalty is for murder at this point. How does this help anything? It doesn't. Let the law deal with them, and I mean, obviously, I'd rather the law let them the fuck alone, because they're just living their lives. But as long as they're not doing actual crimes, why are you doing crimes against them? It's just bonkers. We decline to nullify the Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023 in its entirety. Neither will we grant a permanent injunction against its enforcement, said lead judge Richard Butira, reading the judgment on behalf of his four colleagues. However, the court struck down certain sections it said were inconsistent with right to health, privacy, and freedom of religion. Okay, I wonder what that is. The portions of the act that were voided criminalized the letting of the letting of premises for use for homosexual acts and failure to report homosexual acts. Okay, so I guess if two gay people rent a hotel room, that means that the hotel owner isn't going to get prosecuted, even if they know that that's what's happening. And just in general, failure to report such acts, which is good. I mean, it's not good that gay people are still being prosecuted and persecuted, but that's at least something. I mean, basically, the court is saying, if you can hide it well, we'll let it go. That's basically what they're doing. It's basically saying, if nobody is going to tell on you, you're cool. Let's see. Under the Anti-Homosexuality Act, citizens had an obligation to report anyone they suspected of engaging in homosexuality. Oh, the Salem witch trials are going through my head right now. Because it just got so bonkers then, too. This requirement violated individual rights, the court found. Yes. But somehow I think the court is more concerned about the rights of the person who should have been forced to report rather than the gay couple that they would have reported. I would not be surprised if that was the angle they were going with. The government will now have to remove these sections from the law. Edward Simabo, a human rights lawyer representing the petitioners, told Reuters. When the law was enacted in May 2023, oh dear God, it was that long ago, the World Bank halted new lending to Uganda, and the United States announced visa and travel restrictions against Ugandan officials. Because Uganda just totally doesn't need that money anyway. What are you doing? What are you doing, Uganda? Oh yeah, let's just violate human rights and make the world hate us and make us a pariah. Yeah, that's the ticket. That'll solve all our problems. Bigotry makes people really stupid. The legislation imposes penalties of up to life imprisonment for consensual same-sex relations. Oh, so not the death penalty. So much better. And contains provisions that make aggravated homosexuality an offense punishable by death. And I'm still unclear on what the fuck aggravated homosexuality is. Still haven't figured that one out. I mean, the examples they gave could be for any sexuality, like sex with a minor. Well, not sure that death penalty is required, but it is statutory rape, okay. Purposely giving somebody AIDS. Again, if you're concentrating on them purposely doing it, yeah, probably death penalty fits. But aggravated homosexuality, people can be dicks whether they're homosexual or heterosexual. I just don't see what aggravated homosexuality is. I still haven't figured that one out. Alright. Let's see. It also bans promotion of homosexuality, and violations are punishable by up to 20 years in jail. This is another thing that I have absolutely no clue what that means. Does that mean flying the pride flag? Does that mean having a pride flag sticker in your house? Is it two people holding hands? Seriously, what is promotion? Because if that's promotion, I'd like to point out that heterosexuals promote their sexuality more than any freaking person on the planet. Because they're kissing. Hell, you can't watch a TV show, pretty much. It's gotten better now. But it used to be that you couldn't watch a TV show or read a book. Well, read a book, not so much, but watch a TV show, watch a movie where the director thinks that, oh, we have to appeal to the ladies. So let's have romance. Let's just throw it in there because reasons. And you see romance, you see sex scenes, you see kissing, and it's usually heterosexuals. So, yeah, if that's what you consider promoting your sexuality, then yeah, heterosexuals do that more than anybody. So, I just, ugh. Petitioners against the law include a lawmaker and Frank, oh boy, Mugisha, Uganda's most prominent LGBTQ activist. They asked judges to strike the law down, saying it violated their constitutional rights. The judges are supposed to protect vulnerable groups, but they have rather sided with majority Ugandans to punish minority groups, Mugisha told Reuters. Right, because only those minorities that people like. If they think ew, ick, then obviously they're not worthy of rights or something. But at least they struck down something. Not, like I said, not for the benefit of homosexuals, but for the benefit of the poor heterosexuals who are in a bind, who are forced to report someone because, they might actually be allies and not hateful bigots. So at least the allies get a pass. The petitioners would appeal the ruling to the Supreme Court, he said. Oh, so this isn't the Supreme Court. I thought it was. Which court is this? I have to go back up now. Oh, it just says Ugandan Court. Constitutional Court. Okay. I don't know the hierarchy. I assume that that's their version of our appeals court. So I assume they don't have as many steps. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really, really don't know. The ruling is part of a growing anti-gay crackdown across Africa. Ghana passed stringent anti-gay legislation in February, intensifying restrictions on the rights of LGBTQ people. Alright, so that's where the article ends. So, the summary and the title of this article gave me hope. And then once I read the article, my hopes were dashed. Because it is great now that allies can help squirrel away gay people so they can be themselves, hang out, be with the one they love without having to worry about said person turning them in. That is nice, but that just gives gay people a little more wiggle room, because if you are in a situation where you don't have that, you're still super screwed. So, yeah. I really, really wish that this, and as I mentioned in that previous video, they claim that they're trying to get rid of colonial thinking. Yet they are relying on a colonial law, which is the anti-gay law. So, are you really, really turning away from the colonists? No, actually you're not. Because you're keeping your law from colonial times. It's just maddening. Anyway, that is all I have for this article, and I will see you guys in the next one.